Southampton is Martin Tyler.
Well, Southampton are seeking to end a run of 4 matches without a win, but today their strike force is depleted. Top scorer Danny Wallace is missing with a groin strain, and Colin Clark does play, but he damaged a knee in training 48 hours ago. Gordon Hobson comes in for his first game for 3 months in place of Wallace. Happily for manager Chris Nicholl, his team is operating well defensively, despite selling internationals Mark Wright and Peter Shilton. Much of that is down to another veteran goalkeeper, to John Burridge, who's taken over from Shilton. The 36-year-old Burridge had 2 very successful spells under Terry Venables with Crystal Palace and Queen's Park Rangers. Tony Parks is Venables' current first choice, though he'll be on his toes with Ray Clements close to fitness again, and a new rival now, Peter Guthrie, signed earlier this week from non-league Weymouth. Mabbott, Klaassen and Paul Allen are all on the Tottenham casualty list, so Gary Stevens will operate in the centre of defence, Chris Waddle in support of Clive Allen in attack, and in from the start today, Paul Moran, who as a second-half substitute set up both goals which brought Tottenham victory at Derby in their last match. The referee is David Hutchinson from Abingdon, who needs to officiate on only 6 more of the 92 league grounds to complete the set. But at 47, it is his last season on the list. Tottenham get the game underway at the start of a hectic holiday period. 4 big football dates over the next 8 days. It's also the second half of the season, with each of these 2 clubs having played 20 of the now 40 match programme. A grey December the 26th with rain falling in the Southampton area up to the kick-off time. Hobson had a look to see where Fairclough was. Oh, and Stevens takes it away from Parks. Maybe a breakdown in communication then, because if Parks would have called with any real authority, it was his ball. As it is, Tottenham still under a little bit of pressure. Cockerell. Ardiles was there, and again, in from Case. Clark was offside. Nevertheless, it was a sharp piece of defending by Chris Hughton, who couldn't have been sure of the offside decision. The early ball from Case. Clark in front of Hughton there. The flag was up, but Hughton gave Clark no chance to shoot in any case. Forrest. And the ball skill was much better than the pass, and it needed Statham to cover. And he just got the better of the bounce with Moran. Townsend. Hobson was pulled down from behind by Fairclough. And a chance now for Southampton to make some progress from the free kick, which they work short between Townsend here and Baker. Bond. Cockerell allowed to turn by Ardiles, but he couldn't get past him. Forrest quickly up in support. Cockerell again. Clark and Hobson in the middle. And again, the corner decision goes against Tottenham. 20 minutes to go in the first half. And we're really still looking for a meaningful strike at goal. That's more! We've got it now! Tottenham will have an inquest. A very close-range header indeed from Townsend's corner by the soaring Kevin Moore. Well, it's the problem really for Tony Parks, who's an excellent shot stopper of a goalkeeper, but surely that has to be in his area to come and meet the corner. So Tottenham are behind, their travelling support disappointed. And Bond conceding a free kick, which might give Terry Venable's men an opportunity to strike back. Now, will it be a blast from Waddle? No, it's a little clip forward that finds Moran offside. Well, Tony Parks had a marvellous game at Derby last week in every respect except the nature of the Derby goal, where he was caught out coming for a high ball and just patted it down to John Gregory, who scored. I'm sure he'll be disappointed at the nature of the first goal of this game. Clark, the player, fouled. And they've yelled at Kevin Moore to go forward again. Clipped in by Statham. Oh, and that was a sweet volley from Cockerell, who came in on the blind side of the Tottenham defenders. And did very well to come that close. But the way Parks is, had it been on target, he'd have probably saved it. Cockerell looking for Clark, who took it beautifully. That's a wonderful goal. The player whose fitness was in doubt until this morning looked 100% then. And Southampton have fired now with both barrels. One touch on the chest, a second touch on the volley, and it flew past Parks. To the half-an-hour mark, and the complexion of the game has changed so dramatically. It's Southampton 2, it could be 3, it's Clark again. It should have been 3. And that's the way it is with strikers. A very difficult chance, superbly taken. One when Ardiles made a wayward touch. Clark now setting the sights, but it went outside the goal. Ardiles on from Clive Allen, but to no real purpose. Jerry Forrest covering, with Kevin Moore still on his way back, having gone up for the initial free kick. Clark, here's Hobson. Well, twice Southampton have found themselves in that position. First of all with Clark just after his goal, and now with Gordon Hobson. And on both occasions, the shots directed outside the goal when a real opening was there. Waddle. Tottenham really have just got to roll up their sleeves and battle now. And Hodge is there at the far post. Allen is there. And Ardiles, Southampton regrouping now. But Thomas round the back. Poured out by Burridge, collected by Waddle. Samways. And Thomas, who ventured forward, was on his way back as Samways looked towards him. Burridge really, for the first time, was in difficulties, and Tottenham couldn't build from that position. Thomas trying to do just that here. Waddle, Hodge has got it inside Forrest, and Tottenham get a corner. A goal back before half-time would not come amiss. Fairclough up at the near post area. That came off Clark and fell well for Southampton and Glenn Cockrell. Moran racing back, and he can run, but so too can Cockrell. For Hobson onside. Gordon Hobson did everything but put it in the net. That it came from a Tottenham corner. It was a sweeping break by Southampton. The architect was Cockrell, and then Hobson's choice here was to go round the goalkeeper, but with defenders on the line, he sliced the shot. And that was an agonising moment for a striker trying to re-establish himself in the First Division. Time is approaching, but Southampton maybe not finished yet. Hobson! Well, he could have had a hat-trick after the 2 goals that Southampton have already scored. Tottenham's defending will surely cause some discussion in the dressing room at half-time. Clark whipped it in. It was an inviting cross, but the invitation was rejected by Hobson. As he was nudged, it must be said. Another look at the watch from David Hutchinson. It is half-time, and Southampton, after a somewhat tentative start, go off leading by 2-0. Kevin Moore with the first, which came from a corner from very close range, but from much further out and with venomous power. Colin Clark's second, and from then on Southampton have been very much in control. It really at half-time could have been more than 2. Southampton get the second half underway. It's been a poor ground this for Tottenham in recent seasons. In their previous 4 league visits, they've lost each time. They've not scored a goal in any of those 4 games. And Chris Nicholl, the Southampton manager, will be very happy if that run continues. Waddle away from 2. Well, he was looking for Clive Allen, and in fact, so too was John Burridge. Allen put the brakes on. And Waddle, who has a lovely touch in his passing, as well as his dribbling, couldn't come up with the goods then, when Clive Allen was free to his left. But Tottenham, what a difference it would make if they could start this second half with a goal. And the reason maybe that Allen pulled up wasn't totally down to Waddle's attempted pass. It's maybe a stomach muscle. It's the area that John Sheridan is treating, and Alan Harris peering out, the assistant manager. Forrest. Cockrell, and Hodge obviously came in after the ball had been crossed. Mitchell Thomas trying to soothe the atmosphere. Now, Steve Hodge, of all people, won't want to get into more disciplinary trouble here. David Hutchinson spotted the infringement and played full back for the Southampton free kick. Kevin Moore and Kevin Bond, the duo for Southampton at the far post. Well, Terry Venables must be wondering if he's run over a black cat or something with the problems that he's taken aboard at Tottenham, injury-wise. And the manager now down on the touchline, having watched from the stand for the first half. And he's made a substitution with David Howells coming on for Clive Allen. Parks was decisive and found a good touch. It was nearly 2 years ago now when David Howells first played in the First Division, and he scored at Sheffield Wednesday on his debut. His opportunities have been restricted since then. But in this injury crisis for Tottenham, all hands on duty, even the younger ones. Howells, by the way, is 20, just. Certainly Terry Venables has taken over a club where they've educated their young players well in the passing side of the game. And indeed, the supporters at Tottenham set high standards on that score as well. But here's Statham with a probing run. Derek Statham, he's got it back from Hobson. Well, for years, Derek Statham has laboured really in the shadow of Kenny Sansom. As youth players, they were side by side in their development. And Statham's been unfortunate, not just with injuries, but with Sansom as well. But that shows his quality, a super break, even if the shot was mishit. It's the second substitution for Tottenham, and it's a league debut for Brian Statham, who's replaced Vinnie Samways. Stopped fairly by Statham, who won his Spurs there. The linesman is flagging. Well, he could hardly have picked a tougher situation, Brian Statham, for his first Division tackle on Jimmy Case. Clark. Hobson, is it a goal this time? It's a corner instead. He gets closer and closer. It was well constructed between the two strikers. And an excellent save by Parks. And a good catch by Parks, who perhaps should be encouraged to do that a little bit more often. And he's used the ball well too. Took 3 to stop Waddle, but stop him they did. He's always got that weary look, hasn't he? But I can assure you, he is one of the fittest around. And it may be time for Chris Nicholl to look to pep up his side's performance, which has been a little bit cautious since that 2-goal volley and the succession of missed chances that followed. at the end of the first half. So it's going to be Rodney Wallace. Andy Townsend is the player to be replaced. So we'll see what Wallace Mark II is made of. And remember that there is a Wallace Mark III, Rodney's twin brother Raymond, who is also a player here at the Dell. Now Southampton have another player down. It's Hobson. And the stops and starts for injuries haven't helped the flow of the second half. Here's Howells. And Southampton are playing something of a dangerous game here. Well, Tottenham have already taken the throw. And one of their principal strikers is not really equipped for the job at the moment. Properly shod now. Tottenham pressing. They've certainly shown character to admire in the second half. Fairclough! 2-1. No nonsense about celebrating. Back and on with the job. Waddle curved it over Burridge, and Fairclough just got in front of Cockerell. A very brave header. So it was a goal from number 5 that stimulated Southampton. One from the other now. Can it lift Tottenham to a genuine recovery? The goal came with 14 minutes remaining. And it's breathed new vigour into the contest. Statham. Clark. Chris Nicholl not best pleased. Here's Moran. Now has he caught Southampton here? Howells and Ardiles in the middle. Waddle. Now Moran. And Cockerell happy to just get it out, and Southampton will really be kicking themselves if Tottenham can get a share of this. All the breaks really have gone Southampton's way. They've had so many opportunities, particularly in the latter stages of the first half, to add to that 2-goal lead. Moran. Howells beaten to it. Stevens for Waddle. Tottenham really filling the middle. It's Ardiles, who threw a hand as well as himself at the ball. So too did Burridge, and it was a fine instinctive save. But it had been spotted. There was the hand, not the head. But the second hand was a very athletically used one by John Burridge. Now I just wonder whether he learnt that from his old pal Diego Maradona. Wallace. He fell at the first. Baker and Statham reluctant to chase it at this stage of the game. But He didn't need to, because it's going to be a Southampton free kick. Well, they feel, I think, that they should be in the dressing room celebrating the win. It seemed a very long second half from the Southampton perspective. Howells. Oh dear, that was an unnecessary non-forced error. Clark. Hobson. And well done, Parks. It was an outfielder's tackle. And Gordon Hobson, I think, will want this match to end. Houghton. Hodge. And it's just too long for those in blue behind him. 2 minutes of stoppage time played. And Southampton start this intense holiday programme with a 3-point haul. Goals from Colin Clark the second after Kevin Moore had headed in the first. But a real scare at the last with Chris Fairclough pulling one back. The Chris Nicholls side have a purposeful beginning to the second half of their season. As for Terry Venables, 3 defeats now in his 4 games in charge. But I'm sure things will improve when he gets all his first teamers fit. The Colts did well here at the Dell for him in the second half, but it finishes Southampton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
So another defeat for Tottenham. They could have lost by more, in all honesty, and they now drop to 9 from the bottom of the first division of the Barclays League. I shall, of course, be keeping you right up to date.